Okay. The Last of Us, episode 4, day 1, season 2, episode 4, directed by Kate Herron. Who wants to go first, man?
Go ahead, Tula.
It's your show, Z. Go on.
Yeah,
That's not
you
my
should.
show. It's our show. Who wants to go first?
Come on.
Ooh.
Let's
All
hear your
right.
take.
Well, I'll tell you what I texted you last night. I liked solid, great episode until the 45-minute mark when Dina says I'm pregnant. After that, it just started wavering with me, and I
Is
don't
she
know,
pregnant
man. I
in the
don't.
video game?
Yeah, but it's like
Okay.
they're going a different way with it, man. And my thing is, Ellie's too fucking nice. It's like in the game, she basically says, "Oh, you're a fucking liability. Why didn't you tell me?" She kind of gets pissed at her, and here it's like we don't even get any of that. She's like, "I'm pregnant," and then they just start making the fuck out
gonna
like
be a
that would really
father.
happen in real life. I just their creative choices are really puzzling me. And I wasn't a fan of the sex scene. I thought that was very unnecessary. I get it, but I don't know, man. It's just the way they're writing this relationship. It's just kind of throwing me off. But everything else before that was great. I love Isaac Dixon, Jeffrey Wright coming back from the game to play him. Love that fucking scene with the interrogation scene and the beginning scene where he turns on the Fedra agents.
That was hard. That was
It's
hard.
fucking money, dude. Beautiful, beautiful. And then everything else was great, dude. The subway shit was great. The horde, the infected shit. I mean, all of it was good until the shit with Dina. And
You don't
I
like
gotta
a good
give
little fucking scissor scene, baby? You know,
I do, but I do,
fucking
man.
homophobe? What the fuck?
Dude, I'm just saying, like, I wish they would kind of do what they do in the game because it makes more sense in the game. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's just sometimes I kind of wish I didn't like have the.
I'm glad I didn't play the
I
game.
wish I
'cause
could look at
really-
it like
really
you.
enjoyed
Like
it.
I don't have the game to compare it to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it sounds like you liked it a lot better than we did. You know.
Well, I'm assuming, Tula, do you share the same sentiments as Zach or no?
I'm not sure. So, Zach, you like the episode or what? It sounds
Yeah, I
like
like
you
the
didn't have that
episode.
many
It just kind
problems.
of fell off at the end. Yeah, mostly just the end with Ellie and Dina at the end. That's just kind of where I got some iffy questions.
Yeah, no, I think the totality of the creative choices that they made, it's come to a head, and I don't know if I like how they're going to handle the rest of the season, so to speak. The choice not to have spores in this, because I was like, do they have them or not? And I was like, no, it's not, because they got the tentacles. And then I looked up their reasons why they didn't have the spores. So they either got psyched out, they talked themselves into doing something they shouldn't have done. Because the whole reason why they wanted to have the tentacles now is because, well, it's a more realistic play on a pandemic now that we've been through COVID. I'm like, what? You already have the world. You already set it up. Just do it. It's right. It's
Yeah, no
easy
shit,
for you.
right? Yeah.
Just lift it from the material. And the second reason is another non-narrative reason, is because we want to be able to see the actors' expressions and all that stuff, and it's going to take away what? Who cares? Little areas, enclosed areas in your world. You just don't make them. If you don't, everything doesn't have to be spores. You don't have to always have the mask on. It's little areas, because in the spores, Troy, were like bigger particles, and they're more concentrated in certain places. So if you breathe it in long enough, that's how you turn into the infected, and it makes more sense. You know what I mean? And the longer it
It's
goes,
another way to transmit the infection. Yeah, for sure.
yeah, and it's just a cooler way to do it. And so now that one decision here completely messed up the whole sequence with, and I got more complaints too, just about the subway thing, and they're valid too. But this whole
And they're
sequence.
valid.
Okay, so we saw what we did last night in the original source material. They are escaping the same thing. They're escaping on the in the subways. They finally get away. Ellie gets jumped by a runner. Runner cracks the gas mask, and then what's her name? Dina pops the zombie. They get up. She realizes, holy crap, your mask is cracked. Here, get mine. Take a breath. And then Ellie's like, no. She freaks out. Basically, is forced to confess to Dina.
Yeah.
Hey, no, I'm immune. She takes off the mask and she shows That's it. I'm immune. Look, I'm not freaking coughing or anything. They don't have time for any of this bullshit. Then more zombie hordes are coming, so they got to get the hell out of there. So they're running. It's fast paced. It's realistic. It's in the moment. And then I think through all this, Dina's having sickness, because she's pregnant and all that stuff. And she she basically pops a clicker in the head who grabs Ellie in the turnstiles, which is cool. And then he's stuck there, and there's no coordination, obviously, so they're stuck, and they're able to get away, just like they did in the show somewhat.
Yeah.
And freaking Dina's collapsed, and so they basically they find the theater. It's just across the street. They get in, make sure everything's safe, and then basically Ellie's like, hey, you want to tell me what the hell's going on with you? Blah, blah, blah. She basically says, I think I'm pregnant. And then she says, Ellie, I saw you breathing spores. Like, what the hell? And then I'm immune. Who knew about this? Tommy, Maria, Joel. That's it. And they don't want to say anything. So it's like, okay, that makes sense. And she believes her because there's a history. They're best friends. She's going to believe her. Yeah. Obviously. And then she puts it together. Oh, that your tattoo, that wasn't a chemical burn. That was a bite. So we believe all that crap. Yeah. And she's like, well, why didn't you tell me that you were pregnant? Because I didn't want to be a liability. And so that's when she says, well, now you are. Right? And then in the damn freaking, I'll ask you this. Did this episode feel like she was, the girls were out on a mission for revenge, or did it feel like they were going on a fun cross-country road trip, and it just so happens to be in the apocalypse?
Yeah, so
that's what I was gonna hold on. That's what I was gonna say is I don't mean to cut you off, but I was actually gonna say that a while ago. Is I'm missing the bloodlust that Ellie has. Like, I don't feel that revenge from her. Like, it feels like they're on a fucking supply run in Seattle or some bullshit. It's like I don't feel that urge to fucking get after it. You're exactly right, man. That's exactly what it felt like to me.
Yeah, they were very nonchalant about the whole thing until the action started. Then they realized, oh, there's fucking consequence and we have to do things. And since I haven't played the game, as you all know, I mean, I really enjoy it, but I can understand the creative choice to not do the mask thing because there's so much. Unfortunately, COVID is still a reality for a lot of people as far as like that. Masks fucking trigger people. It doesn't bother me because I believe in science. I believe in science, all that shit. But masks still will trigger an audience.
I know, but I think
they're making. I think they made a smart choice, and I don't think it hurts the story necessarily. But spores would be a really cool aspect of it because fungus, mushroom. I mean, that's how spores. That's how mushrooms. Propagate or whatever the fuck, but. That makes sense to me, and I hope maybe they'll bring it in later on in the series. I would hope, but it's definitely. I agree with both you guys as far as like their whole nonchalantness about. It felt very like almost like they're going on a fucking girls shopping trip in some aspects of it, and there's like no consequence or no intensity for safety until they're already in the shit. They make some really stupid fucking choices.
Right.
The subway though, man, the set design, holy shit. They've spent some money in this. That subway scene was great. Up on the roof and then going through and all. I mean, it was the zombie scenes are impeccable in my opinion. They've really done a great job with that. But as far as like the actual characters, it's a little. I could see if I was playing because in the game I assume you play as Ellie, right? Do you play in that perspective? Do you play as the character Ellie? Okay, so yeah, I could see in the game. Then you'd be really like, you get really attached to a certain persona, right? That is done in the game, and I think that if I was in the situation, I would be much more hard ass and aggressive on trying to. I mean, survival is not a fucking walk in the park, man. It's not a picnic. No. Absolutely not. And you've heard me make comments about it in previous episodes where I was like, dude, she is so nonchalant about fucking everything. It can take me out of it a little bit. So I agree with you guys there.
There's no urgency. The urgency's not there. And then when they do decide to have it, I mean, it's totally misplaced. Like Dina, the second you're in the middle of the street, you're going to start holding her at gunpoint and start crying. Like, what? Number one, this is your friend, and then you're just gonna hold her at freaking gunpoint. Like, that's not how this stuff works, man. That's not how this stuff works at all. And then they decide in the theater. First off, you're not going to clear the place too. Like, make sure everything's okay.
Exactly.
And then you know, and then I'm going to sleep right across from you. All right, and just wait for the rest of the night. I'm like,
bullshit. What? I would tie you. I would fucking have to tie you up and like
tie your ass in a room or something. I wake up, and if you're there or something, I mean, she's gonna wake up before you and then get you. Like, what's so just those?
No.
Those choices don't make any sense. And then another big one big mistake that they made is now we're gonna have. Now they're gonna. It sounds so cringe to say, but consummate their relationship in the movie theater now. When you're on the frickin' mission, it makes more sense to do that before. They should have just basically followed, you know. And it's not so much the game thing; it's more of the narrative. There's a better narrative there that they either want to shield from the other people or whatever. But it makes more sense to have it back then. You know, when I'm watching the show, it forces me to put my writer hat on. I'm like, no, this doesn't make any sense. You would have it at the beginning. Them making this relationship, because then it makes sense that Dina even goes out on this trip to begin with, you know, leaves Jesse, all this crap, leaves the whole town. Jackson's safe place because she actually she's showing that she loves this girl. They should do it in Eugene's place, just like they did in the original source material. That's where they hook up. That's where they do their thing. And then but they had to have
do their thing. What is that? Do their thing.
You know what I mean? That's when they hook up. That's when they hook up. And then you can add a layer of guilt. Maybe they were supposed to be on an outpost that Joel was going to, you know, meet them up at a certain time, and they didn't. And that's when they had Abby with them, you know, and just have Tommy or someone else be out on the lookout with them too. And it creates extra layer of guilt for her and wanting for more vengeance to go after, you know, the people who killed Joel. So there's all these different things. And then the last thing I'll say before I pass it off is the spores thing actually. The tentacle things, it's too overpowered. It's absolutely ridiculous, number one, because it robs us of scenes with tension with, you know, a couple clickers here, you know, the infected and the humans that you're running away from, and you can pit them against each other, make a noise, wake up the infected, because they're always sleeping, the clickers, until they hear noise and they start coming after you. Now it's just a bunch of horde of zombies, and it's not interesting. Everything's going to be hordes of zombies. We can put them in here. Why? Because we tripped the freaking fungus on the ground. Yeah. And now we get a bunch of zombies. And it's like, oh, I thought we cleared this out. Well, actually, you're never going to clear anything out because they're always going to be around. Because
it's organic.
Right.
Yeah.
It's organic. Right. It's in the ground. And then that also begs the question. It undercuts, you know, any freaking sympathy we have. Not that a lot of us aren't going to have anyway, but for those who can or can understand, the understanding that Abby's father is going to create this grand cure to cure humanity. How? They're freaking everywhere. You're not going to, it's over. It's too overpowering. It's too ridiculous. And I think they got to do something about that, in my opinion. But it's like, you know, you're begging the question, like, what's the point of all this? You know?
But, you know, in doing so, since it's all a network and they're all interconnected, there is a potential end game if they do come up with some sort of, for all simplicity's sake, some sort of pesticide or antifungal fucking cream or something that they can put on, because it is all in a big network underground, right? They're all connected somehow. So maybe that's the direction the writers are going. I don't know how the game ends.
It's too much though, man. 20 plus years. There's got to be millions of motherfuckers under the ground. So he's right. Like, what would a cure do? Nothing. I mean,
no, but no. If it spread, if the network, if they communicate that way, they're all like, because there's a big, like, the biggest living organism on the planet is a interconnection of actual fungus under the ground. I forget what it's called. It's legit science. Let me Google it.
I'm doing it.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. The largest, it's I forget which continent it is, but there's
the humongous fungus.
Yeah. I mean, there's a science
organism.
to it. Yeah.
Oregon's Blue Mountains spans 3.5 square miles. Look at this. We're getting facts on this podcast.
Damn.
Thank you.
All right. But, you know, but it affects everything, man. And then the fact that the way they handled the pregnancy thing, like, we're not they're not writing Dina very well, in my opinion, because she's so self-involved, the way everything plays out. You know, she throws out the pregnancy stuff right then and there, and then they do like a little, you know,
only 7 episodes, brother. I mean, if they gave us more time,
they are rushing it.
We could really flesh out these characters more.
Right, but it's not so much rushing. It's not so much rushing. It's the way things play out. It's like it just doesn't. It feels false. You know, she should be on a mission. You know, Ellie's not mad necessarily. She's mad that her mission's fucked, kind of, because now I love you, blah 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 blah. Now you're not a liability necessarily. You know, I need you to have my back. But now it's like, we got to get you back. You got to
protect this baby. Yeah.
We got to get you back to Jackson. I still got to go forward. But now here it's like, oh, and I'm pregnant. You know, she says it like that, and it's like, oh, I had my whole. You know, it's like Dina's making it all about herself. It's like, man, she just saved your life. Aren't you worried about her turning? You know, you're more like saving your own ass. You know, it's a different thing, man. And I don't know how else to explain it, but it's like, it's just her character. I'm not liking the way she's written. I'm not liking their relationship. And we should be more vested. You know, they should have established their relationship way earlier in the show. And the beauty is the source material already did that. So everything already made sense. So every choice that they're making is diverting, and I think it's undercutting the narrative. And then the action scenes, you know, there's too many zombies everywhere. It's not interesting. And then if you're going to cast Bella Ramsey and Isabella, you know, they're okay. It's fine. You cast smaller actors than their OG source material. That's fine. Write the story around them. Don't have Bella Ramsey, you know, basically tackle somebody, you know, throw him to the ground, and then you're freaking putting him in a headlock, and then you're not grounded. So it's like you don't really have any leverage. All this guy had to do is boom, go back, easily get her off.
He's twice her size easily.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
That wasn't realistic at all. And
I'm
all for female fighters and all that shit, but the reality is the guy he physically is so much stronger than her.
Yeah,
right. And this is a grounded post-apocalyptic story, and all you have to do, just have her sneak up, boom, that's it. Just have the knife out already, something, or distract. There's very clever ways to get him, to make this work. And then in the TV station, which was great, the way they set it up, all the scenes, and set designs top notch.
Yeah, dude, set designs, they're really doing great in there.
But I was like, man, this is going to be I thought, this is going to be a great way to show the capabilities, that these two girls have, how they've been surviving, how they can trick. And, I really wish, I don't know if I said this on the other show, I really wish they showed something about making the trip lines or whatever the hell, so you can show how they get out of these situations or something like that. But I thought it was way too close. Like, how did nobody see, Ellie go up these stairs and all that stuff? And then how did Dina get away? So it's like, it's these little things, they start to add up, and it's like, I can suspend disbelief. But just,
you can only take so much for granted with this.
Right.
I don't know. But if you're telling, if the story's going well, who cares? Like Love Lies Bleeding. I love that movie. It was so much fun to watch in the theater. There was like 3 moments in that movie where it's like you suspend disbelief. The director took some liberties, which are kind of cool, but I was just like, all right. It happened like 3 times in the movie, and I was fine with it because I dug the story and everything was going along and everything made sense. There wasn't anything that was taking me out, but it's like, I don't know. I don't feel the urgency. I wish we had more of a focused mission going in place.
Yeah.
And I'm just not a fan of everything being zombie. There's no tension with the infected. There's no tiptoeing. There's no them trying to get from point A to point B with these things.
They had that in the first season. They had more of that in the first season. But in the second season, it is very, like you said, more en masse, if it will.
Did you see the preview for next week?
I did not. I didn't want to watch it. I don't want any hints or anything.
Oh, okay. Well, then I won't say anything. Never mind.
No, you can. I'll just la 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 la.
No, you're good. You're good. That's also, if people are hearing, don't want to be spoiled either. So,
yeah, I think it seems pretty clear to me that they're going to go the main. I'll say the basically main story A, they're going to follow that from the original source material through and divide that up into 2 seasons.
Yeah,
that's what it seems to me. And they did a good job of merging all of Seattle Day One. You know, they merged the different set pieces in. You know, I feel like the technical stuff they are aces in, and it's just a shame that, at least in my opinion, every choice that they deviated from, in my opinion, it's costing them. And I'm seeing a lot left on the table that could have been there dramatically, that I'm not getting from the show, that I wish I was getting from the show, that I wouldn't otherwise. And that's it, man. But yeah, that's the main thing, because you know, when you're kind of limited, you know, and when we're looking at Ellie and Dina, their limitations are, you know, not the same formal training. Obviously, they don't have the weapons of the WLF, so it's like you have to level the playing field. It's not mano a mano, like you have to, and there's too many of them between the infected and all that. So, you know, I'm not seeing there's no ingenuity, and it's not them leveling the playing field depending on who's in the room with them.
It's just reckless.
Yeah, it's not, you know, they should be covering. I don't know. I feel like there should be there's something
some
there.
Strategy, maybe.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
sure,
they're missing out on a plan, if it will. I mean, the plan's not only is to succeed, but to fucking stay alive. I mean, fuck. Oh, there's the tower. Let's go. And you're like, oh, no. Thankfully, Dina's like, no, you can't go, because they put a sign up there to attract more people. They have the high ground. Oh,
welcome all. Right. Please come visit us.
All this basic bullshit, you know. So
yeah,
have a plan.
Overall though, man, I like I said, I enjoyed most of it. I loved the music store scene. The take on me scene was beautifully done. Jeffrey Wright was fucking awesome. But yeah, just that little stuff with Dina, man, is just.
I thought he was going to use the pan to go for the guy's nether regions and really.
Yeah, you know, I was kind of wondering something about that too. I was like,
man.
Yeah, because the Schwanz was out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Was out.
I thought they were Chekhov's gunning that real quick. I was like, oh this is gonna be brutal. Yeah, that scene was great.
Yeah.
So I can slap that scrote.
Well, cool, man.
It's a pan scrote.
Let me ask the non-gamer here. Do you have any predictions next week? Real quick.
Well, shit. I think because we're running out of time because we're a fucking amateur podcast. Let's see.
We got a minute left. Make it fast. Make it fast.
I think Tommy and the fucking hand-to-hand training guy is going to show up in the next episode, and they will continue to be nonchalant and fucking have some musical and some fucking lesbian moments, and it'll be great.
Perfect. You got any closing remarks, Tula? Or are you pretty much tapped out?
My prediction is I think Gail shows up with the cooler and tells people to chill out.
Beautiful, man. Beautiful.
There you go.
Cool. All right. Thanks a lot for joining us, guys. We'll be back next week. And
are we out of time? What about you? Any predictions for you? He
hold
looked at
on.
the clock. He looked at the fucking clock. Look at. Oh, you're gonna cut off. You're gonna cut off.
No, I'm just fucking with you. I just want to see Tommy. I want to know.
Get like a legit Zoom account.
See, you tell me to give me my thoughts, and then you just cut me off. So fuck
bro.
it. But I just want to see Tommy. I want to see more of Tommy. Where's he at? I need more Tommy because it's not going down like the game is. But that's a whole nother story.